Does Paul Caneiro's story make any sense? Let's bring in our guest. Joining me, trial attorney Matthew Barhoma is with us, and host of the Pascal Show. Pascal is here. All right, Pascal, what are your thoughts about Paul Caneiro's version of events, his story so far that we're getting from his mouth and through other witnesses?
Well, I got to be honest. He must still be on fire because liar, liar, pants on fire. Okay. Honestly, let's be real. He did this whole thing. He put this whole thing together, then try to make it seem like he's some sort of hero at the end of it. When you have all these pieces of evidence pointing right at him. And then the fact that he said that, oh yeah, you know, I was having issues with the garage where the DVD is that records all the surveillance footage. What kind of issues was he having over there? None of this is making any sense. It's absolutely sloppy. He is, in my personal opinion, a dumb criminal. Thank God he's a dumb criminal. And I guess justice is going to be served here very soon.
Well, it may take a little while, though. It's New Jersey.
Yeah.
We take our time with our trials. Matthew Barhoma, what are your thoughts here about Paul Caneiro's story? You know, it's coming in through other witnesses. Some of it is his own words on video. Is he locked into this story? Is the defense locked into it? And does it make any sense?
You know, his story, the short answer is no. The story doesn't make a lot of sense. But the beauty of criminal defense and where he's standing is he doesn't have to provide the most sensible story. It's whether the state could prove beyond a reasonable doubt that his story is false. Okay, and in a criminal case, the defendant, you know, his story doesn't have to be perfectly logical. So he could kind of try and maneuver and backtrack. Although I think it's going to be difficult given some of the other evidence, like the backpack and items that were found. But really, what is his story? He denies committing the murder. He denies setting the houses on fire. He asserts that law enforcement has fixated on him early, and he disputes the prosecution's timeline and motive. So really, it's whether he could keep that house of cards alive to pass muster beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yeah, you know, a big part of it, Pascal, is just saying where he was that night, because prosecutors are going to attempt to prove that he is over at his brother's house, which is 20 minutes away, where he's saying, well, I'm sleeping in the spare bedroom, I do some work on the laptop, and then I get some medicine, and I go to sleep, and then the fire alarm goes off. Very different. Very, very, very different accounts. And if that white Porsche is seen anywhere other than in the driveway, he's got problems.
Absolutely. He has not really thought this whole crime out. Even though it is clearly premeditated, he didn't think about all the nuanced things. The devil is in the details here. And for sure, it's all slipping right now. So, like I said, this should be an open shut case in my personal opinion, but I get they got to do their due process.
Oh, yeah. Premeditated, Matthew. I think that's clear from the allegations of prosecutors. I'm just, as I look at this and I try to figure out, like, when did the plan get kicked into gear? And it seems like the phone call that Cody played for us was kind of like the factor that kind of has to set everything in motion. So it's not like he has days, weeks, or months to plot this out. It seems like it's kind of like cramming for an exam. He waits until like 8 o'clock, and all of a sudden, now I'm going to come up with the master plan.
Listen, this is definitely premeditated. How premeditated? I have some questions. I was just thinking about that earlier. I mean, this guy gets in his car, goes over there, lights the house on fire, you know, shoots and kills his brother, kills the occupants immediately after him and his brother are engaged in a dispute over money, where his brother is telling him that he needs it now, and he's talking down on him, and he knows that he's cutting off his lifeline of money. So, I mean, when you talk about timeline, I mean, his timeline couldn't be any worse. And it's certainly, I mean, there is evidence of him thinking it out, plotting it out, thinking about this elaborate plan and going over there. So the timeline for him, I think, is one of the worst things from an optics standpoint.
And Pascal, you mentioned the DVR and the surveillance going out. It didn't go out in his brother's house, and that's how we have that phone call, or that series of phone calls where we hear Keith kind of telling his brother, like, there's some problems here. And then saying, I need the password. You have till 8 o'clock to give me the password. Without that video, without that recording, this would be a lot more difficult for prosecutors, because yeah, you might have a phone record, but you wouldn't know exactly what was said or the tone of the conversation. But now we do. So it kind of answers that question too, as to like, why, how could there be something going on between the brothers and it's all spelled out in the victim's own words?
Yeah, this timeline, at least with this recording, definitely lays out the breadcrumbs that lead to this tragedy without a shadow of a doubt. Now, I truly think that the defense is scrambling right now because this shows motive. This all had to do with money, money, money. At the end of the day, this guy, whether it was fully premeditated or not, he jumped the gun, did what he did in hopes to maybe get some sort of financial gain out of this situation. And now it's all crumbling right there in court in real time.
And as you say that, I'm going back to, we were talking about the murder of the children, right? Like you're stabbing your niece and nephew, 7 and 11, Uncle Paulie, and it's about money? Really? That's, all right. Pascal sticking around. Matthew Barhoma, great to see you. Thank you so much. Always appreciate you coming on. Coming up next, what story are the pictures of Paul Caneiro's house telling?
One person who had the means, the motive, and the opportunity. And that person is sitting right here today.
Did an affair lead to double murder?
The Commonwealth's Attorney's Office has secured an indictment against Brendan Banfield for the murder of his wife, Christine, and the murder of Mr. Ryan.
Prosecutors allege the defendant planned to run away with the family's au pair. So he killed his wife and another man.
He was saying, I'm gonna kill her, I'm gonna kill her.
It's a case of sex, lies, and deadly deception.
The Au Pair Affair murder trial. Live coverage continues Tuesday morning on Court TV.
Ordered now.
That fire was effectively a ruse designed to make it appear as if the overall Caneiro family was somehow targeted.
What a horrific case. Like it's mass murder. You take out a whole family, that's mass murder. Let's bring back in Court TV field reporter Cody Thomas. So Cody, the jury's seeing a lot of pictures of Paul Caneiro's house. Give us an idea of what they're seeing.
Yeah, Vinny, a lot of photos are being published into exhibits during the trial, especially of the house after the fire. Now, these photos are believed to be the result of multiple fires at Paul Caneiro's home. And we start with an image of one of the fires itself. It looks like it's on a deck or some sort at the house. And then, Vinny, we move along to a photo after the fire. This looks to be maybe the backyard that looks like a back deck.